Hello, hello, hello. Dr. Alan Harper here again, your Secure Vibe Coder. And we're in for another live Secure Vibe coding session. We have been working on this app called User Vibes OS. The purpose of this app is to collect vibes throughout the user journey lifecycle. So the idea is that as users come to the website, they interact with your website and they give off vibes, whether they're hitting the landing page or they're hitting a survey that you set up, or maybe a wait list or email list, or ultimately after they become customers, then they're going to want to give feature requests and they're going to help you ideate about your project. And that's very precious because those ideas are the most valuable ideas that you can get, are those from your customers. And one thing is for sure, if you implement an idea from a customer, a feature request, then they will be a customer for life. And so we want to make it easy on developers to do this, and also collect bug reports and sentiment surveys. All of this stuff, the full life cycle of a user, is what we want to make easy for a developer to capture. So the way our architecture looks like this: we have a front-end JavaScript module or widget that the developer drops into their website, and we make it really easy with like a 1-minute install. They of course can come to our landing page, the developers, and they can sign up. We could take payments. We're currently live on uservibesos.ai if you want to check this out, but we've got the payments disabled at the moment because there's no good way to do test credit cards in a production environment, at least with the setup that we have. Okay, and then we also have a dashboard that the developer can land on, and from that dashboard they can go ahead and set up an API key. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this just a little bit because I've been meaning to do this for a bit. I'm going to move these down. Okay, I think I'm going to move these over here, and I'm going to say, okay, they can set up an API key. They can also set up boards, feedback boards. Okay, and inside of those feedback boards, then what they can do is they can go ahead and set up that feedback that we're looking for. Okay, what's going on here? Let's go to that. Okay. All right, you get the idea. I don't know what's fighting me tonight. All right, whatever. Okay, so our developers can come to the dashboard, they set up an API key, and then they can set up feedback boards. And we keep track of everything on the back end with Convex. We love Convex. It's a real-time database, and we've seen that just pay out in spades. I used to use Postgres, and then I went to Mongo because Postgres was too complicated and too hard to use, and unnecessarily difficult to use. Who wants to learn SQL? That's such a 1970s concept, and we're still dragging it around. But then I went to MongoDB, which is a NoSQL database. Used that for many years, but now we're with Convex, which is kind of like a hybrid between an SQL and a NoSQL database. But you don't have to learn any SQL. It's all done in TypeScript, and Next.js makes that really easy for us. Okay, so on the back end, we allow for 2 API models. You can have tier 1 security, and that's just basic public key that gets dropped in on the client, and then it connects to us, and we can validate that public key came from our customer. The second level, the second tier, is we give them a secret key. They can take that secret key and generate a JWT token, a Java Web token, and then they can pass that along from the client to the back end to our server, and then we validate it on our side. So all of that's functioning. Again, you can check it out up there on uservibesos.ai. Now, we've been working on an extensive feature list here. We've been at this, I'm just guessing, about 35 hours. Okay, and so I think if you were to put in about 10 hours a week, this would be like 4 hours of development, or 4 weeks, excuse me, that we've been at this. And the idea is that I think we have about 4 months worth of work accomplished already. So that's the trade-off. So 40 hours or 35 hours or 4 months worth of work. You choose, but I choose to use AI to do this heavy lifting for us. It makes me 10 times more productive than if I wasn't using it. Hey, if you're with me tonight, go ahead and drop a hello in the chat there. Let me know that you've joined. I'd appreciate it. I see people have joined, but I don't know who they are yet. So drop me a hello. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so we've been working on this step that we started last night to set up subdomains. So the idea here is, let me come back here and I can say, okay, so the client is going to connect to our server, right? And we can do this in one of two ways. We can let them connect directly to our server, to our URL. This is User Vibes OS. .ai, okay. Or what we could do is we could spin out a bunch of connections like test one dot test 2 dot, etc. And in this way, the user has a choice. They can send their clients either straight to our server in our domain, or they can use a subdomain that we could set up for them. We can let them set it up, and we make that really easy for them. And we've already got this working, okay, at least on the local development server. Now we're trying to make it work up on the production server. That's a little trickier. So last night we ran into a snag where we have to do DNS. And whenever you do DNS, you have a choice. There's usually, you have a registrar, okay? And the registrar that's where you buy your domain. So GoDaddy, or I use name.com. You can use Namecheap. There's dozens of them. And they will not only register your domain, but they will also give you DNS server, DNS, domain name system control. Now, the purpose of DNS is DNS converts a name like, uservibes.os.ai to an IP address. Okay. And I like to keep my registrar, my DNS server, because I have like 50 domains. I like to keep them all in one spot, but that's just a preference. So last night we ran into a snag. In order to do this subdomain thing on Vercel is going to have to become our primary DNS server. It's called the authoritative server. Okay. Hey, 3Ds, welcome back. Yep. Hey, came back last night, but glad to have you back as well. And we're working on this subdomain feature, which might be interesting to you. And so the idea is, so we have some choices when it comes to DNS. Let me just talk about DNS for a second, because I talk about these concepts so quickly. And if I say something that doesn't make sense, I wish you'd drop me a chat and let me know, because I just take for granted. Like, I've known DNS for, I don't know, 30, 40 years now. So almost since there's been DNS. Okay, so when it comes to DNS, you have what's called a root DNS server. You also have a TLD, top domain level DNS server, and then you have authoritative servers, and then you have something called recursive servers. Okay, there's like at least four different types of DNS. There might be more. And so, like, the whole internet, it runs on these root DNS servers. If somebody ever takes those down, like, the whole internet shuts down. And by the way, they've had issues before where they've crashed and such, and it's taken down, big parts of the internet. Then there's these things called top level domains. That would be your .com, your .edu, and so forth. Okay, there's only so many of them. There's, I don't know, like 100 or 200 of those or so. They keep adding them all the time. But of course, we want the coveted either .com or nowadays .ai. And so I own both, uservibesos.com and .ai. And so we can choose, and often we'll run both of them and point them both to the same site. So that way, and the reason I do that is a security reason. It's called domain squatting. You want to prevent domain squatting. Domain squatting means like, like let's just say we set up uservibesos.ai and somebody else came along and set up uservibesos.com. Okay. And they made a similar looking website, but their only purpose was to try to phish us or to get us to click on something and hack us. One of my customers, they could like try to hack one of my customers by going to the wrong site. Right. Or when they just put in user vibes OS, Google might find the illegitimate one and direct people there, like a competitor might come in and squat on our domain and and take it off of and divert the traffic over to their site. Okay, so there's all these nasty things that can happen. So whenever you register a domain, it's a good idea to go ahead and register all the ones that you think you might need or use. Sometimes you get like a .com, a .co, .ai, and then several other ones. But they get expensive. They're at least going to be around $12 a year, and probably for like the .ais and different ones, it's going to get more expensive than that. Okay, some of these I think I purchased. I think these were like $89 a year. Okay, so you pay for that privilege of having something new and shiny. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're switching our authoritative server from name.com over to Vercel. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we have Vercel here. That's our cloud. It's called Content Delivery Network, CDN. It's basically our cloud provider. We love Vercel. Very generous, free plan. I see all these other pop-ups all the time coming in and trying to lure people over to them. Stay away from that junk. Like, look, they're all trying to catch up to the big dog like Vercel, and they don't have the functionality or the features or the cost benefit of Vercel. Like, I've been using Vercel for years. Again, I have many domains on it. Most of them are free. Only until you start making money, then you're going to run into some limits, and then you're going to start paying them. But when you pay them, it's like $30 a month. Like, come on. And you used it for free for years. So just stick with Vercel. Not only that, not to mention that Vercel, the company, are the ones that created Next.js, which is the most popular web framework, the one that we use. So again, to me, it would be crazy to use something else that's less compatible. Another benefit of using Vercel is this last couple weeks, some critical vulnerabilities came out in React, and then those propagated over to Next.js. And the CEO or CTO, some big dog in Vercel, was sending me emails like a couple times a week, keep me apprised as a developer, like what's going on. I love that. Okay. The other thing that they do is they put firewalls up in front of you for free. Like, they will try to protect you. Like, it's called a web application firewall. It's like when an issue comes out, they'll warn you about it, and then they'll put a WAF firewall up in front of you and try their best to block the stuff until you get to patch it. So I love Vercel. No complaints at all with them. I see some people whining about them online. They're just whining. Okay. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to change our authoritative DNS server over to Vercel. Let me see if I can figure out how to. I'm going to have to change that back to here, and I should be able to. Yeah. Okay. So tonight, this is what we're going to do. So let's get on with it. And what this allows us to do, by the way, is then put in the wildcard DNS setting, which will allow these subdomains. Okay. I really didn't want to do this, but I'm going to need to if we're going to do this subdomain functionality. Okay. So let's get with it. Here's my DNS records. We've seen this before. Most of these are for Clerk. Okay. These are, requirements for clerk. You can see like one, two, three, four, five. Five of them are for clerk. Okay, and just a couple of them were pointing like back to Vercel. Okay, so what we're going to do though is we're going to come over here in the domain settings for our domain, and what we're going to do is we're going to put these records in one at a time. Now I've never done this before. I don't think we need this one because that's, after all, like the main domain. I don't think we need that one, the second one, or the last one. I think we only need these clerk ones. Okay, so these are CNAME records. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in this accounts. I'm just going to do them one at a time. It'll just take a moment. All of these are going to be CNAMEs. Yep. Hey, appreciate it. I can do this. Yes. We're going to see. S.ai. Okay. 60 seconds is the time to live. And yeah, hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're with me. 60 seconds is what's called the time to live, the TTL. And the way DNS works is whenever you open up a browser, and you go to ford.com or whatever, university.edu, it goes out to a DNS server and it looks up the IP address. And then everything else goes to a number after that. And so there's several lookups that happen, and this all happens in the blink of an eye. But your system will cache that record locally so that if you go to the page again, it doesn't need to go look it up. So 60 is a pretty aggressive or low cache, I could call it. 300 is probably more typical, but it looks like Vercel, prefers 60, so I'll just keep it with that. Okay. You could also put something called a priority on here, but it looks like Vercel doesn't even allow that. So, okay, enough talk. Get busy, Alan. Okay, so there's the first one. Okay, simple. I don't like this dot here. Did it do that? Yeah, it did. That's weird. I've seen this with DNS servers. If somebody knows why this happens, drop me a note. I've seen some DNS servers will prefer a dot at the end of some domain names and others won't. And if I try to put that like on name.com in their DNS settings, it would give me an error. So I don't fully understand why some of them do a dot and some don't. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let's get the next one, clerk. I could have just typed that. But I'm feeling a little lazy tonight. It's been a long day. I'm glad that the CNAME stays selected, but I wish like it would just retain the value I put over here because they're all going to be the same. It's almost obvious. You guys see me make a mistake? Somebody shout out. Yeah, I was stressing on this yesterday because I really didn't want to do this because I hate like spreading my stuff out. But hey, just it's no big deal. I can put it back later if this doesn't work or if I don't like it. I'll find a better way to do it. We tried to do this trick last night that Claude told us to do, and it turned out to be bum scoop. It hallucinated. After about 20 minutes messing with it, it admitted, nah, this ain't gonna work. Like, gee, thanks. Can I get my time back? Okay, so here they are. Okay, so these go automatically by Vercel, so let's definitely not mess with that. This right here is our Let's Encrypt. This is our certificate authority. So this is how we get our SSL certificates, which is a whole nother topic, which thankfully we don't have to go into anymore. Like, who cares about SSL certificates? They all get created for free. There was a day like 10 years ago, not that long ago, to where SSL certificates were not free. And so we were setting up a web page. We'd have to pay something, sometimes like $100 or so, depending on where you got them. I think there was a company called VeriSign that made like billions of dollars doing that. Well, I don't know what they're doing nowadays. They're doing something else because they're not selling certificates. because this organization called let'sencrypt.org, it's a nonprofit, they invented how to do certificates for free, and like, praise God. DNS is domain name server, converts the IP. Yep. That's what I said that when I started. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so I think that's all working. Now what we have to do is up here, we need to set these domain name servers over here, and this is gonna like wipe these out. I'm about certain of that. Let me just look and make sure there's not one other thing I need to do here. And I think I don't have to do these two. Okay, but what we do here is we go under manage name servers, and here's where we add a new name server. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll delete these. And this will break the website until like these actually take hold. It might take a few minutes, so maybe we'll go off and do something else if it takes time. It depends really how long the time to lives were set. Okay, so let's put that one in, and we put this one in. All right, so you guys got a class on DNS tonight. That'll be useful for you at some point, I promise. You're going to need to understand domain name service, DNS. It's one of the oldest protocols on the internet. Side note, if you ever get on Jeopardy someday, it's been hacked many times, and there are people who have made a career out of messing with DNS and doing all kinds of weird things. Because it wasn't made for security in mind. There's no authentication. There are newer forms of DNS called DNSSEC, which is like, but nobody's using it. And more recently, there are some things you can do to like help encrypt it and stuff, but like 99.999% of the internet is running on just straight up DNS, the old version, and there's no security in that thing. And it's been spoofed and hacked many times, and there's many types of attacks that you can do out there on it. But the most important thing you need to do is protect your DNS records and your registrar records. And you need to use two-factor authentication to do that. So whatever registrar you end up using, make sure, let me hit save here and let that cook, because that takes a few minutes. Whatever you do, make sure that you protect this registrar and your DNS server with two-factor authentication, because that's, the ultimate hack. If somebody takes over your domain, good luck getting it back, because you're going to contact your registrar and they're going to say, who are you? You're going to have to prove who you are. Yeah, good luck with that, because the other guy is going to say, no, they own it. And so, if a hacker can guess your password and you don't have two-factor authentication on, or worse yet, they hack it somewhere else or get on your system and do key logging or something, there's many ways they can get your password. Then what will happen is they'll just take over your domain one day when it gets popular. Maybe they'll be kind, wink, wink, and they'll wait until you actually build it up and get it making money or something, and then they'll just take it over. They're like, thank you very much. I needed that residual income or advertising or whatever you got going on it. And that's crazy. And then, like I said, good luck getting it back, right? So you want to make sure that you protect those are like some of the most precious passwords and usernames that you have. Two-factor authentication, you can also sometimes do what's called a domain lock, which means that like it puts like an extra level of password on it, so like nobody can come in and change it out unless they have like a code. But anyway, that's very super important to protect your DNS records. Okay. All right, so look, we've switched over. The DNS server is now technically Vercel. Let's go see what happens when we go back to, let's make sure there's nothing else we have to do here. Here's our certificates and all this stuff for our SSL. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Okay, by default, Vercel will propagate. Okay, you can view them or add new ones here. Okay, so by default, it should automatically do our domains. Now what I'm going to do is just make sure there's no save button or anything crazy here. I've been hit with that before. Okay, so let's go back. Okay. Okay. All right, so now that we've got that up and going, okay, let me see here. Okay, so here we are back in our Vercel settings. So I'll come down here to settings, and I'll go to domains. And with a little luck, we'll get some love here. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. May no longer need this record. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and delete that out because I think we don't need this anymore. We can always add it back if we do. That's the one that was broke from last night. Okay, so all right, all of this should be working. Yeah, let me see. Let's see if I can figure out how to. I think we did a dig command last night. Let me see if I can figure out if this is actually working. The first thing we'll do is just go to our web page and see if it's still working. User Vibes OS. Now this is cached, this actual record here. So what I'm going to need to do is probably open up like Safari or something. Okay, that's all looking good, promising. Now, let's log in and see. Okay, get rid of this so I don't get confused later. Let me go ahead and log in to our dashboard, and let me come in here and see how this and see if this automatic directory is working. If not, we're gonna have to get back into Cloud Code and do some damage. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I know what's going on. I think I stopped. No, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, that definitely should not be happening. Okay, let me think. Okay, sometimes you get a clue in the console. What's going on here? It's funny, this wasn't doing this last night. Okay, this almost looks like a, oh, it's a convex error. Okay, let's go in and look at our convex. And what I want to do is, okay, we're looking at our production here. Let's look at the error logs. Ah, okay, this is related to the issue. Okay, object contains extra field subdomain that is not in the validator. Okay, we're going to have to feed that to Cloud Code. Okay, that doesn't seem too scary to me. Let's see. Okay, we have this error now in production in Vercel, but technically it's a convex error, and convex is not happy about the subdomain. So figure this out. Okay, let's let Cloud Code cook. Halfway through our session tonight, it's about time we do some vibe coding, don't you think? Too much talking, not enough vibe coding. I'm trying to get this up here. Okay. Yeah, it might be doing something with DNS. I wouldn't be surprised, but we definitely have an error here that that convex is not happy. So, like, that shouldn't happen. In fact, anytime you see like these errors should be caught and handled. But let's see what happens here. Okay, let me verify the fix. Okay, so here it is. It found it right here. This query is missing a subdomain fields. Okay. All right. So now what we got to do is we got to push that up. This is the only bad thing about working now in production is that, you know, because we couldn't test this locally. Typically we would test this locally, but now we have to push it up to production. Now, if we had a test domain, we could push it there too, but we don't have that yet. So let's just go ahead and commit this. and push it. Okay, and then what's going to happen is it's going to boot. Go inside of here. Let's take a look at the build. Sometimes when I'm waiting, I'll just check the build and make sure if an error comes up, I can be right on it. I'm sort of surprised that error didn't come up last night. I don't think that would be related to DNS. But anyway, who knows? Had a great vacation last week. I was down in Mexico. Went to Chichen Itzen and also Chacoben. Two great Mayan temples, ruins, if you will, but big like pyramid structures. Had an amazing time. Got to climb up on one of them at Chacoben, which is very rare. Usually you don't get to go near those things. They have them roped off, but for some reason they still let people climb. Honestly, we were just kind of on the base of it. We weren't going all the way up to the top, but it was high enough that it was kind of slippery, and but it was fun. Okay. All right. So this thing's working. Let's check it out. Okay, that's more like it. Okay. Come in here, look at the settings. You missed this 3Ds. We got this new setting in here now where you can claim. It basically takes the slug and sees if that domain is available, and then you can claim it. And then we should be able to test it. Fingers crossed, guys. Don't! This is where we were last night. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, yeah, that's HTTPS. That should be working. All right, so now, okay, all right. So now let's find out what's going on now. Okay, let me talk to, okay. Now I've converted the name server settings over to Vercel. So Vercel is now my main name server. I also removed the wildcard, and I maybe shouldn't have done that. I removed it on the Vercel settings. But anyway, right now the functionality is not working. The URL, the subdomain is not working. Should I add that wildcard back in? Please advise. You have the most, intelligent thing at your fingertips, and it's getting smarter all the time. They say, and I believe that it's better than 95%, 98% of the developers out there. It's certainly better than me. And soon it'll be better than all developers on the planet. And that's a crazy thought. And then it's just going to keep getting better, right? So they call that super intelligence. That's coming. I think that'll come before, just basic AGI. I think there'll be a parity point of code first, because it just makes sense. That seems to be the piece of the technology that's moving the fastest. Okay, so here we go. Don't add the wildcard until the name servers have switched. Okay, you can also check propagation status on. Okay, thank you, Cloud Code. Okay, so let me just see what else it said here. Oh, so it did a dig and said that, no, it's still at name.com. Okay, this could take a bit, guys. So we might have to move on to something else on our list, come back tomorrow and check this. It says it can take up to 48 hours. Honestly, I've never seen it take more than, I don't know, a few minutes, honestly. But I guess it depends on what the DNS servers are doing out there and how much of it is cached. See, because what happens is, okay, so this is interesting. Why is that happening, guys? Let me tell you why it's happening. Okay, so here's what happens in reality. You have a browser. This is good DNS stuff. You need to know this. I've forgotten half of this, but I can figure it out. Okay, and then you usually go to a recursive server first, DNS server. Okay, and then what it'll do is it may go to a couple of these, and then what it may do then is go to a TLD server. That's the top level domain, like .com, .ai, right, which we are. And then what it's going to do is it's going to go to the authoritative. Server. And then that sits the authoritatives before the top level domain. It goes like this. And this is the root. Okay. So what's going to happen then is we made the change here on the authoritative because we switched the authoritative from name.com over to Vercel. Okay. So we broke this chain, but all of these other servers have the DNS records cached on them. Okay. Because I've been hitting this web page, uservibes.os. So every time like you open up a browser and you go to put in uservibes.os.ai, it comes out. And the first time, if there's no caching in place, the first time it's going to look it all the way up to the authoritative, and then it's going to go ahead and reply. And then this gets a cache, and this gets a cache. So that the next time that I look it up, like an hour later, a day later, depending on the length of the time to live value in the record, then it doesn't have to do the whole lookup again. It could just go to the first recursive server and find it because it's in the cache. See, that's called a cache hit. If there's a cache miss, then it goes to the next server, and it keeps doing that until it gets to the authoritative server. Okay, but we changed the authoritative server, so that's going to take a bit for it to propagate through the system. That's what it's called. Okay, so that's what we're witnessing here. And Cloud Code helped us out because what it showed us is that it did this dig command, which we could do too. Dig is a DNS tool. It's old school. Like that's like a 50-year-old tool, maybe more than that. Man, that's cool. Thank you, Cloud Code. When was Dig created as a tool? They also gave us this this web page we can go to. So I can go to that. And this shows you the propagation. So now look, on most of these servers, these DNS servers, it's been propagated to Vercel now. Okay, so now it should work. Just like that, while we were talking, I think all that timeouts went. I think I had like 5 minute settings on my time to live. And depending on how many recursive servers, like those could be 5 minutes each, and it could be stretched out. So we'll see if that's true here in a second. Okay, I think you mean Dig, the DNS tool. That's right. It was part of Bind, which is, oh boy, that's old school. It's from the University of Berkeley in the 1980s. That was created. It comes with the Bind library. That goes all the way back to the 1980s. So that's 50 years, guys. 40 years. That's an old tool. It's old. I'm older than that. All right. Let's see what we got. Fingers crossed. Refresh. Come on, man. Okay. Oh, we're not done yet. Or now we got to put in that record. Okay. So, all right. Check again and tell me if it is propagated and if I should add that wildcard. All right, guys. Hope you're picking up some good stuff here. This is valuable content. You're not going to hear a lot about DNS on other Vibe Coders channels. We already know they don't talk about security. Okay, look at that. It's done. Propagated. You're on Vercel now. Now go add the domain. Okay, so I need to add this in, and it should verify automatically. Sweet. We're close, guys. I can feel it. You guys feeling it? All right, let's see what we got here. Go back into settings, domains. Okay, and then what we're going to do is add a domain. It should automatically give us like a green check mark. But I just jinxed this, so. Yep, blue. Sweet. All right, guys, what we have to do is wait for this SSL certificate to go. Remember we had a red check mark here before? It's because it wasn't propagated. Sweet. I'm learning this too. This is the first time I've ever done this part. Next time it'll be easier. This is important. We need to get this certificate or else we'll get an error when we try to load it. It just takes a minute. Again, oh my goodness, that's a whole masterclass in itself. I could tell you about how you request certificates. You have to do something called a server certificate server request, a CSR. And you have to submit that to this certificate authority. They have to generate the keys and the certificates and sign them and send them back to you. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Nowadays, Vercel handles that all for us, man. Thank God. Oh my goodness, that used to be a nightmare. And by the way, when you'd send that off to Vercel, it'd take them like 3 or 4 days to get back to you. Not Vercel, like VeriSign back in the day. How many people, drop me a note here, how many people have used to roll your own certificates and know what I'm talking about? We are so fortunate. We stand on the shoulders of giants. All right, this is done. Okay, guys. Drum roll, please. Now I just jinxed this again. Sweet. Woo! Just like that, folks, we have subdomains now on our User Vibes OS. And so the purpose of this is like, okay, for that lazy developer out there that doesn't care about, the public key encryption or authentication at all. They just want to collect bug reports, feature requests, and bug reports. That's all they want. And they want to do it like quickly. Then what they can do is within the dashboard, they can claim that URL, right? And they can make it whatever they want. Like I could say, release this. Let's just change it to something else. I'm feeling fun tonight. Okay. And what it's going to do when you hit this claim button, it's going to check to see if that's available. Okay, and it does all of that because it stores all this in the database. So it's going to claim it. It says, yeah, that's available. So now what you can do is you can go to it and test it, just like that. Okay, it works. Now what they can do is they can just put this link in their website and just put like behind a button or something that says feature request, right? And boom, it automatically launches into a URL that they control at least the first part of it. Now, the advanced part of this would be if we white labeled this, then we would let them go ahead and control the whole URL. But like, we're not doing that anytime soon. So yeah, hey 3Ds, yeah, subdomains are live. And just like that, it actually took like Vercel like 15 minutes Cloud Code about 15 minutes to do it last night. And then we ran into all this DNS crap. So honestly, guys, now if I rolled it back and didn't talk so much, this was like a half hour's worth of work. So we have subdomains set up. That would take a week to figure that out as a developer. Like if you've never done that before, you'd have to go read all these docs. You have to look at other people's code. It was a nightmare. And we just let Cloud Code do it. Had an idea, and actually saw some of our competitors do subdomains. So I'm like, yeah, we got to do subdomains. Okay. Now we can expand on this in the future. We can have like this could be a client portal, for example. So our clients can like like let's say we let our clients even sometimes we could like let them style their portal or like change the colors on their portal and stuff. We can customize it for them. So when they come, they log in to that portal and it takes them straight in to the back end. There's all kinds of cool things we can do. But this was a big step, guys. This is a big step. This is huge. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just set this back because I want to, in the future, like look at this and not be confused as to why I put test there. I love that this release functionality is working. So we tested that. It's part of our functionality check here. Okay, so I'm glad to see that it deleted the original record. So that what I was testing there is to see if it was going to let me reclaim something that I'd claimed before, and it did. Why did my light shut out? That was weird. Okay. All right. So once again, click that. Bam. You guys don't know how good that makes me feel. Anytime we do something complicated and Claude Code makes it easy, like that's a win, guys. That's a win. I hope you're picking up this value that I'm putting down, guys. Like, where are you going to get this at? Where else are you going to get this at? My lights just do not want to stay on tonight. That's all right. My lights are saying time to shut it down. All right, guys, let's go back and look at our checklist and see. I love this. Check. All right, let's go take we got a few minutes left. And this is when I always get in trouble and end up breaking something. I'm gonna go playing, but hey, let's play a bit. I'm gonna go back to my local version of this thing. This is my development version. Okay. Now, this has been bugging me for a bit. But before I do this, what I want to do is I want to take a look in the security settings here. And I want to look not just for the last 7 days. I want to look for like last 30 days. And what I want to do is I want to have all. Okay, so for the last 7 days, what I think I'm going to do is I want these numbers to make it through right here. Okay. To the security. I want to have this is called a badge. I want to have a badge that has a number on the security folder, security link on the sidebar. Okay, so let me just tell Claude Code to cook on that. Okay, hey, that worked. It was wonderful. Thank you very much. Now, different topic. On my dashboard on the sidebar, I have a menu item for security dashboard, security monitoring. I want to add a badge on that button that's on the sidebar, similar to how we did on the feedback button. Okay. I want to add it to the security monitoring button. I want to add a badge that shows the total count of alerts for the last 7 days, which is the default setting on the security monitoring page. So go ahead and make that happen. Okay, so while we're talking here, what's going to happen is, well, I'm going to have to give it permissions, I'm sure. All right, we're vibe coding again, folks. Twice within the hour here. I'm having a good time tonight. Can you tell? I hope you guys are as well. Come on. It's reading and reading, and then I think it's going to ask me for some permissions, but maybe not. Okay, found it. Okay, it already supports time range filtering. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Okay, of course it broke it, but now it's going to fix it. Okay, there it comes back. And what we should see here is a total number of 1 show up there on the security. I want a visual cue here that whenever somebody comes to the back end, I want them to see if we have security alerts so it catches their attention, right? So they come in there. Now look what it put it. It put it up here. That's not where I asked it to put it. Come on, man. That button don't even work. Like, what are you doing? Okay, now it's saying it's moving it, I guess, to the security. Yes, but what is that for? I have no idea what that's for. But I know what this is for, and that's what we asked for. Okay, let's find out. Yes, but why did you put a badge on the notification icon? Remove that. Why did you put a badge on the notification icon? Remove that. Let's see where it did that at. The icon bell. Yeah, why did it do that? Okay, done, removed it. Yeah, okay, thank you. Now, I don't know what I'm going to use these for right now. They're just kind of just sitting here. Like maybe this will be like messages or chats from our users or something. We'll figure this stuff out. All right, so we got that working now. So that's presentable. Let's see what else we want to do here. Creature features, comfort-wise. And I love this security dashboard. You guys like that? Yeah, and I love how we can like check these off. And what happens is, let's see, yeah, see the unread count here? Because I have it filtered now just on open. So every time I check one of these, it's like they're going away. So what would happen is I should have a button that says, mark all. But I'm clicking these and I'm going through them, see as we go. And that way it keeps it like clean. It's like an inbox. So if you're keeping up with these, but you got different filters here. You can like always look at all of them again and see how they're kind of grayed out if they're red already. Yeah, I'm really liking this. This is a single micro SaaS in and of itself right here. Security monitoring. Okay. Like we could have just sold that. Okay. But by the way, what we would do, because I'm thinking about that as a feature, we will put down here security monitoring. This is a feature, guys, not a bug. It's a feature. Okay. And where are we going to fit it? Let's fit it here. We're not only vibe coding, we're vibe designing this thing. Like we're vibe planning it, right? Hey, you get a vibe and you go with it, man. That's why we love vibe coding. It's fun. Okay. All right. So next time I tune in, I can explain that better. So we've got this working. Let's just do this. Let's put a check. Give me a check mark. Okay. Let's see. I don't know how I want to. That's done. And feature request and bug reports are pretty much done. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, so we're going to go ahead and wind this one down. I just want to see what we'll work on next time. Okay, we're going to update that dashboard page. This bugs me that for a while now we've been sitting out here with this ugly. Well, it's not ugly. It's just incorrect dashboard. Where are we at? So right here we've got all this stuff. It's beautiful, but like this is not real. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to dial this in. Right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put like a box here that says security events. We're gonna put another box that says feedback. Right, one's gonna say feature requests, the other one's gonna say bug reports. Right, and we might put comments. Right, so like these will be our totals at least initially. Then as we add more functionality, we can always adjust these and add more, take away. Okay, and then we'll start to actually dial in this data here for this table. And we'll make it accurate according to like these boxes up here. Make sense? Okay, so this will be pretty cool. Yeah, I'm liking that. So that way what we can do is we can see our feature requests growing over time. We can see our bug reports growing or declining over time. That's super valuable information. So we're going to work on that over the next couple days. Speaking of which, let me see. So tomorrow, yeah, I think we could still do that. We're going to keep tomorrow at 8. And then Wednesday, I think I think I might take off. Well, anyway, we'll figure that out. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8. If you've been here with me all this time, I really appreciate it. I really do. I never take that for granted. You guys are kind enough to hang out with me and geek out over this stuff. And I'm having fun, and I hope you guys are as well. Laying down a lot of value. I wish somebody would have showed me all of this way back in the day. But anyway, that's what I'm here for, to help you guys. All right. And so until next time, you guys be blessed, by the best, and stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time.